Hey YouTube, it's Rosanx7, and yes, that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, I'm here for two reasons, the first being a little explanation. So, Metroid Legends. I know it's been about a year and a half since the last episode. This is because, as I have often stated, things just keep going wrong, although it's something new this time. See, something in my computer screwed up on a massive scale, enough to almost total the entire machine, and the only way to even remotely fix it is to remove that part that caused the problem. While the computer itself runs decently now, the removal of that part has caused Brawlbox to run at roughly 3 or 4 frames per second. Considering it should go at about 60, it makes things a bit difficult to say the least. While yes, I can still animate, not being able to see it at full speed has already proven to really affect how I work. Strange, yes. Vain, also yes, but that's beside the point. Either way, I can't do any more episodes until I have that back up and running properly, but just to clarify, I can still edit and record, I just can't animate well. There's a second reason I'm doing this little rant. Recent realizations have convinced me that doing something like this would be quite relevant to my interests, and you guys might even like it. I'm referring to doing an LP. Those that aren't familiar with that term, it stands for Let's Play. Basically, I would play through a game with commentary, advice, and whatnot, hopefully entertaining and humoring you along the way, maybe even clearing up some problems or questions you've had about it. I went through my games and came up with a list of 12 possibilities I would be willing to go for, listed below in the description and here on the screen. Now, before you head down to the comments section, I need to point out some things. I am not taking suggestions that are not already on the list. This is mostly due to the list containing games I actually have access to, and know enough about to do a good playthrough. Also, I realize that there are a few of these that aren't exactly popular, and I'd bet a lot of you outright hate some of them. And that being said, don't bother commenting on the game just to say it sucks and I shouldn't play it just because you don't like it. If you don't, that's fine. All I ask is that you not comment on the games themselves for the time being, as I mostly just want opinions on the concept of me doing an LP and which ones you think I should do. Plus, there's only a 1 in 12 chance of that game you hate being chosen anyway, so why waste your and my time by complaining about it? But that's enough of that, and here is the list. I also have some things to say about each game specifically in regards to how I'll play them. Okay, so the first game in the list is Galaxy 2. This will be a 100% run, and I'll also show off 2-player mode at some point. At the end of the LP, I'll also show off some homebrew codes. Second one is Super Paper Mario, and yes, that's how I say it. 18-year-old habits are hard to get over, I'm still kind of working on it. Anyway, this one will also be a 100% run for, well, to some extent. I won't be getting all the cards, but I will get the optional Pixls and complete all the dungeons. This includes both Pit of 100 Trials and Samus Kingdom. Next up is Metroid Prime 2. While I honestly don't know exactly where everything is, pretty much everything will come back to me as I go, so this one will be a 100% run. Even if I do miss things along the way, I'll just come back to them later at some point. I'm kinda looking forward to doing this one especially because there are some really cool action replay codes to show for this. Next up is one of the ones I was referring to earlier, Metroid Other M. I won't be doing this 100%, but I will be going up to the real ending, and I'll show all the secrets I know about. There are also some homebrew codes for it, but none that I really am aware of as being particularly noteworthy. Sometime off screen, maybe even recently, if I do this game or not, I'll look more into that, but for the time being, it's just a straight up playthrough. Yet another game that people seem to just push under the rug is Star Fox Adventures. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do. I think it's a fun game even with the really wacky animations and all the backtracking and whatnot. There aren't many collectibles, but I will be getting the optional staff power-ups. Okay, this next one I was hesitant about putting it in the list because I don't actually have it, and it probably has a following that's even a fraction of the size of Other M, and that's saying something. and that's Mega Man 64. But that doesn't change the fact that I really like this game for honestly some reason that I'm not aware of. Yes, the controls are clunky, but it's still fun in my opinion. I don't know right now if I'll show all the weapons you can get, but I will show the fully upgraded Active Buster for sure, for the simple reason of it being overpowered enough to make the Metal Blade its bitch. So that should be fun. I'm gonna be kicking myself for adding this to the list, but a 100% run of Donkey Kong 64. While I don't know exactly where absolutely everything in the game is, I can find almost everything. Pretty much only having troubles in one particular level, and that can be remedied pretty quickly with a walkthrough. But yes, 100% run of Donkey Kong 64, and that's gonna take a while, considering that's basically the definition of a collectathon. With Donkey Kong Country Returns, I will show you where to get all the puzzle pieces and the Kong letters to unlock this secret world at the end. I don't know if I'll show off mirror mode at the moment, but if enough people want it, then I'll probably will. We'll have to wait and see. For Majora's Mask, I'll be doing a 100% run for sure. All heart pieces, all optional masks, everything. I also have something else planned for this one to make it a little more interesting and hopefully unique, but that will have to wait to be revealed. And no, it's not me randomly breaking it into song. That is not gonna happen. Ever. The second Zelda game in the list is Master Quest. Now, since the only thing different between it and normal Ocarina of Time is the rearranged dungeons, I might do this one a little differently, and only show the dungeons, cutting out all the overworld stuff with a quick recap at the beginning of everything I did in between. Each dungeon would also be in its own video, so this LP would be done in either 9 or 10 episodes, depending on whether I show the Gerudo Training Grounds. Alternatively, I could do it like a normal LP and show everything. That will have to be decided later. Another 64 game, Bomberman Hero. This one will also be a 100% run. I'll beat all the levels with max rank, including the secret world, and I'll show all the bonus content like the extra worlds and whatnot. This will be updated with each level being in its own video, a lot like Master Quest. Last on the list is a very underrated game in my opinion, Bionicle Heroes. I've been a huge fan of this franchise ever since it started, and despite the game's simplicity and pretty underwhelming difficulty, it has some hilarious scenes, more cameos than you can even count, and one of the best soundtracks I have ever heard, and I am not exaggerating. I don't mean to play it up, but that's just my honest opinion on it. It's a lot like a shmup played from the ground in a sense. I know that probably doesn't make much sense. It's easier to explain when I'm actually showing it. Okay, so now that we have the list out of the way, it's time for you guys to vote on which ones you want me to try, if any. So, what I want you to do is send me your vote in a personal message, but instead of just sending the one subtitled, LP, suggestion, or whatever, just for the sake of making this a lot easier for me to keep track of, I want you to send the PM with the subject of the game you want. So for example, if you want me to play Other M, which honestly chances are you won't, but let's go with the example anyway, you would send one with the subject Mother. I'll put each subject up on screen now in the description next to the game it corresponds to. Alright, well, that should just about cover it, and with that, I will see you guys later. Hopefully, during my very first Let's Play. Or maybe an episode of Metroid Legends, you never know. Okay, bye. For real this time.